Reap the benefits of 2 hours of intensive anaerobic exercise in just a fraction of the time.
I gotta tell you, it's extraordinary. If you read the science on it, you'll be blown away.
Vasper users experience immediate results with increased growth hormone, increased testosterone, and decreased cortisol levels, resulting in more energy, better sleep, improved body mass index, pain relief, rapid weight loss, and increased libido. Vasper works by combining blood flow restriction, cooling, and interval training, enabling the user to mimic the physiology of an intensive workout without any of the stress response of a high-load session.
For a 21-minute workout to transform your body, and aerobically and hormonally, I don't know many things that are much better. So check it out for yourself, see what you think. I promise you, it'll be a workout you don't forget.
If you talk to any doctor, they would tell you that exercise is your best form of medicine. But if you want constant happiness, if you want constant gratification from being alive, keep creating positive difference in the lives of others. And this is exactly what we do.
For me, Vasper it's more a method than a machine, to be honest.
It allows me a break from my symptoms.
But now I'm stronger.
You feel high, like you feel legitimately high, like you just feel great. And you just sleep really well and it feels like your body recovers faster.
It's amazing. Endurance-wise, it makes a huge difference.
Vasper is this incredible technology that basically enables people to mimic the physiology of a more intensive workout and initiate some of the same benefits.
We basically hack the brain into thinking you just did 2 sessions of CrossFit and then ran up a 2,000-foot mountain.
20 minutes. And you get to pretend you're a marathon runner in only 20 minutes. How exciting is that?
I was excited. It re-inspired me to jump to a new level. It helped with speed and performance in swimming, biking, and running.
Our rest and recovery has improved, so we have a more energetic, vitally efficient athlete who's prepared for an 82-game schedule. You don't realize the effects pain has on your life until you're not in pain.
I believe in the technology and I believe in the team behind Vasper because it's a game changer.
We want to make as big an impact on humanity as possible and really change the way that people think about healthcare, think about strength training, think about rehabilitation.
Vasper really does deliver, this feeling of well-being, this feeling of vitality that is undisputably represented in our studies.
I get the same thing that everybody else gets, this high, a Vasper high, for about an hour to 90 minutes afterwards, and it allows me 90 minutes of a break from my symptoms. And I can stand up and I can walk a little bit.
Well, to me, it's the only solution that I can really use for getting some kind of exercise, which is critical to the Parkinson's diagnosis.
The people that it has the most impact for are the ones that lack the physical capacity to do regular anaerobic exercise. And when you see that population get on for the first time and the way that they feel afterwards, those are really the most powerful case studies.
2, 1, and coast.
It's stimulating your body to balance out the hormonal systems and feel strong and get the parasympathetic, the healing nervous system going. So
it's, again, it helps people where they're at. So if someone has Parkinson's, or if somebody has arthritis, or if somebody isn't sleeping, it's gonna kind of help the body where it needs it.
It improves my mood and improves my balance and my strength and my sleep, and makes me just a better person in general.
If you can benefit from exercise, you can definitely benefit from Vasper.
The first principle to talk about is the compression. Whenever you do very intense anaerobic exercise, you're basically breaking down the muscle tissue, creating this microscopic tears in the muscle tissue. And then because of the concentration and amount of lactic acid, there's a signal to the brain. The higher the concentration of the lactic acid in the muscle tissue, the stronger the feedback to the brain requesting growth hormone and other anabolic hormones to rebuild up those muscles back to pre-exercise conditions. Whenever we apply compression, it's a very specific type of compression with core cooling over a certain area. The idea here is to slow down the removal of the lactic acid without damaging the muscle tissue. So a Vasper protocol means you're sitting on a chair and you're going through a very low impact exercise. A 97-year-old can do that. And through compressing the muscle and slowing down this removal of lactic acid, we're basically hacking the brain into thinking you just did very, very intense exercise. And the brain responds in a way, same way as if you actually did do very intense exercise. So it does release additional hormone levels that normally would be designed to repair the muscle tissue. But because the muscle is not damaged, those hormones can repair other parts in the body that need repair. The core cooling is a very, very important factor because whenever we exercise, we sweat. And in order for us to sweat, there's a tremendous amount of body that has to be channeled to the surface of the skin to push the sweat through the pores, which means you have less blood at the muscle level. And each one of us has a very finite amount of blood, which happens to be 8% of your body weight. And if that person is exercising with high intensity, a lot of that blood is at the surface of the skin, which is exactly why we have what's called delayed onset of muscle soreness. So after you finish exercise, there's not enough blood there to remove the lactic acid, so you have sore muscles for 1 or 2 or 3 days sometimes. The other side effect has to do with the blood oxygen levels. So as the bloodstream warms up, it starts releasing blood oxygen. The blood oxygen, of course, is the fuel for the muscle tissue. That's what muscles need to work and to be efficient. So you can relate to that when you watch someone running a race, for example, and especially during the second half of the race, you can see them gasping for air, trying to get as much oxygen into the lungs as possible. In a scientific term, it means reaching your VO2 max, your ability to metabolize oxygen. So we address that with Vasper. With Vasper, whenever you exercise, we are compressing the benefit of that exercise by slowing down the venous return, creating this massive concentration of lactate underneath the compression, which hacks the brain into thinking you just did 2 sessions of CrossFit and totally killed that muscle tissue. So therefore the brain goes into gear producing more of your own growth hormone. And then because we are cooling the body during the exercise, you are actually preventing your body from sweating, which means all of the blood flow is at the muscle level where you want it. And then because the blood itself is cooler, it absorbs and retains more blood oxygen, which gives you more power.
I help organizations, particularly in the military, understand the value that Vasper can bring to their performance optimization programs. There's a fixed window, like in professional sports. It's the same in special operations. You can only operate from here to here. And some people that might be from the age of 19, 20 to 30, 35. Some people it may be a little longer. But whatever it is, it's fixed. Unless you intervene and you have strategies such as Vasper. Take their career, make it broader and longer, and then we can get a better return on our investment. Build and sustain their resilience. Help them recover from injuries at a faster rate, more effectively. Our program was the umbrella effort for 67,000 special operators. That's all the SEALs, Green Berets, Rangers, special mission capable helicopter, and fixed wing platforms. So when we get a guy who's injured, our role is to get him back on the battlefield as quickly as possible. So I went out and virtually looked at hundreds of different options. At the end of the day, it came down to 3 things that I felt were worth pursuing. And number 1 in my book was Vasper.
It increases your endurance by so much.
It helped with speed and performance in swimming, biking, and running.
And I've never felt stronger breathing-wise and endurance-wise during that race.
My cardio now in jiu-jitsu is better than it's been in years.
Whenever we apply compression, it's a very specific type of compression with core cooling over a certain area. The idea here is to slow down the removal of the lactic acid. So the brain sees the high concentration of lactate and starts producing higher levels of growth hormone to rebuild that muscle back to pre-exercise condition. But the muscle is not damaged. Therefore, this extra hormonal load can be used to rebuild other parts in your body or give you additional fuel for an athletic event.
The recovery element that it can provide to your healthy athletes helps you look at the hormonal drive that these players need to have at a high level, and they're going to depend upon for optimum output.
No matter how sore I am, if I come in here, it helps me flush everything out and recover better, but still get a high intensity workout, you know?
It's amazing. You'll do a Vasper, you'll get into the pool, and you improve your 100-yard swim. Within like 15 seconds can be taken off of it.
There's no doubt for me that it was this exercise that helped me. So I didn't do anything else.
Everyone is looking for their athletes to recover and to produce at a high level every single night. Vasper works for us.
Recovery from an injury can take weeks, and athletes that get on Vasper see that time reduced tremendously.
We utilize Vasper to start the process of rehab for the athlete and make the rehab of that athlete more productive, and maybe even cut back the time it's going to take to rehab that athlete.
And that's where Vasper is really a game changer, enabling people to mimic the physiology of this intensive workout, but through a low-impact 20-minute platform.
Early in their rehabilitation, they can withstand Vasper, and they can work at an intensity level that no other piece of technology offers.
Now I'm back to where I was, and if not even stronger.
I was blown away by how rapidly I was able to go from really not being able to function at all to being back on different pieces of equipment and ultimately running again.
You see how people feel even immediately after a single session, and then the results after 10 sessions are sometimes mind-blowing.
So we're sort of bulletproof from the time we're born to the time we go through puberty. And once you reach puberty, of course, your body is taller. There's more real estate here. You can no longer concentrate lactate in those levels. And then you don't have time to run around all day. Most people actually realize that when they have decreasing muscle mass, decreasing energy, and of course it takes much longer to heal. So when you go to a traditional medical professional and they check your hormone levels, they most likely will tell you, well, this is just a normal part of aging, you're getting old. But the truth is that our hormones don't decline because we age because our hormones decline. So the idea with Vasper was to design technology that would actually take you backwards. And what we're doing is by compressing the quads and biceps during a 20-minute exercise, we are forcing very high concentration of lactic acid because we're slowing down the release of the lactic acid. We've done actually a trial in Honolulu with seniors where we had a very advanced group. Average age was 82 years old. We had 30 people in the trial, and those people did extremely well. They had increase in their strength, and we could see them increase muscle strength 300%, 400% sometimes over other traditional exercise methods. Seeing a grandparent being able to regain some of the strength and some of the quality of life that they had lost is beyond amazing.
The Vasper technology is really exciting. It is finally a modality that I don't have to prescribe and I don't have to infuse and don't have to inject, or I don't have to have you consume, or we don't have to put in your rectum. It is remarkable in its impact and its influence on your physiology. It is a blood restriction type of therapy where there's compression in the periphery and it diverts blood to more of the central parts of our bodies, including our brain, our gut, our heart, our lungs. And so it is really remarkable for repair. It is very anti-inflammatory, it improves oxygenation, it improves perfusion. There's been a lot of studies on it with regards to athletic performance and how it improves muscle repair from muscle damage from exertion. But it also has been shown to improve mobility in those who have impaired mobility for varied reasons. It has been shown over and over again to improve fatigue. So those patients who suffer from chronic fatigue can really benefit from this technology. It definitely improves pain, it improves the way you sleep. It just improves the way you think and your cognition. It improves your heart function. It reduces the risk of things such as strokes and heart attacks. It can certainly reduce your risks for cognitive decline as we age. It can even reverse some of the effects of chronological aging. So it is pretty powerful and very exciting, and I'm so happy to offer it to my patients.
These machines are tough enough for an NFL player, but easy enough for my 80-year-old mother to use. The Vasper machine is an exercise machine. It uses 3 components. It uses compression, it uses cooling, and it uses interval training. And it's that combination, it's a force multiplier in terms of the exercise and what it's doing to your body. The machine itself is called a new step machine. You would see that machine in almost any physical therapy clinic in the country. You're sitting down, you're reclining back a little bit, you're pushing your feet like pistons back and forth so you're not spinning like a bicycle. It's very easy motion. It's easy on the knees, easy on the hips, and you get 2 adjustable arm bars where you're pulling them back and forth. You're following this iPad screen. You're getting an interval exercise. So the resistance changes, gets easier, gets harder, and it's 21 minutes. And so that's something that anybody's familiar with that's been to a PT clinic. The difference is that Vasper solicited the help of NASA to help take this to the next level. They actually developed this in part to put on the space station for the astronauts. So you've got the standard interval training part of it, which is just the normal new step machine. Then the science part of it got involved with NASA, and that is using compression, where it puts blood pressure cuffs, 4 blood pressure cuffs low on each arm and then on your thighs. So this works very similar to if you see someone at the gym with bands around these areas. The point of that is when you're exercising, the more burn you can get, the better. That's lactic acid. The more that accumulates, the better. It goes to your brain. Your brain sees that, and then your brain flips a switch and releases growth hormone, which helps repair your body. So doing those exercises, you tore muscle. So then muscles get bigger, you bulk up. But then the hormone can fix other things in your body, helps your body repair, helps you sleep, helps regulate your other hormones. The problem with that is it gets harder to do those exercises as you get older. And so this does it in a sitting format. And so you're putting blood pressure cuffs on, and at the end of the 21 minutes on the Vasper machine, they release, and your brain gets all that acid at once. Then your brain thinks you ran a marathon, and because you didn't tear much muscle, it can go fix other things in your body. So you do gain some muscle mass with it, like a Pilates type muscle mass, but not going to be as much as it would if you were weightlifting. That's the compression part of it. Then you get the cooling part. And the cooling part is 45-degree water that's circulating through the pressure cuffs. The seat's chill. You got to wrap around your neck. It's 45 degrees. And so you're doing this for 21 minutes, and that cools you, fights inflammation. And then at the end of the exercise, you lay on a cooling bed for 10 minutes at 45 degrees. That magic trifecta means that you don't get sore afterwards. You really don't sweat while you exercise. You recover a lot faster. The Texas Rangers baseball team used it a few years ago on a few of their players. Those that did on average double their testosterone. It's used before and after hip and shoulder and knee surgeries. You know, a lot of these procedures were taking platelets out of the blood. We're doing something called PRP, platelet-rich plasma, and it helps the body produce a higher quality platelet. This machine also puts more of your stem cells into circulation to help heal you. So I use it as part of my program to help tissues heal and do this regenerative treatments that we do. And so Vasper is a game changer.
We all know that the right amount of exercise at the right intensity can rebalance hormones, improve sleep, reduce pain, and dramatically improve overall health. But people have less and less time, motivation, and physical capacity to exercise enough to make a difference. We wanted to change that, and the results have been extraordinary for our healthcare partners and the patients they serve. If you'd like to dramatically increase your practice's income by radically improving patient outcomes, we'd like to invite you to test drive the Vasper system, a tool so revolutionary it could forever change the way people stay healthy.